Greetings and salutations, and this is TechRedot here, back with more Sonic Frontiers. And this is the first video I am using my current intro on. I did edit a new intro again. I'm probably going to be doing that every, I want to say 15 to 20 videos to go up. I'm probably going to edit a new intro. And I'm still using Sonic Frontiers music. Starting, whenever I'm done uploading Sonic Frontiers, I'm probably going to start going into Dreams and getting music from there, because I have more options there. So yeah, something I want to point out is you might have saw some clips in the new intro for Crash 2 and The Walking Dead Season 1. Crash 2 is what's going to be replacing Resident Evil Village in a couple weeks. And The Walking Dead Season 2 is going to be the first Let's Play I do for Season 3 of Ronan Games. So that's why I chose those two to, put in some new clips of, because... So, I kind of feel dumb for this. Something I should have done is just save, my intros over time, so I can pull clips from, all the games I played whenever I do more variety in it. Because the reason I put those clips from Crash 2 and The Walking Dead Season 2 in there is because, I didn't have any clips from any games aside from Sonic Frontiers and Resident Evil Village saved, and the only, old clip I still had intact was, from Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. So yeah, that's kind of an explanation for that. Something I want to touch on is, the way I'm taking these scenes where, Sonic helps some Coco, Sonic and his friends help Coco get some closure and stuff, and then, they just fall down. The way I'm seeing that is that, these Coco have been long past, and what's left is kind of their spirits, their spirits, their ghosts, basically. It's their version of ghosts, is the way I'm seeing it. What they become if they don't pass. You know how, it said that ghosts happen when someone passes away, but they have unfinished business, right? I think that's what the Coco are to the aliens we're seeing clips of. And when we get more, details later on, you'll get why I'm making that connection, because these Coco are indeed those creatures that we got, that I think we got one glimpse of on the last island, and we're going to be getting another glimpse of when we get when we beat the next boss. But yeah, those alien creatures are connected to Coco entirely. I think my theory on this is, and I think the game pretty much confirms it, it just doesn't outright say it, is that they're ghosts or spirits of those fallen aliens, and that what we're doing is we're helping them find closure with what was keeping them connected connected to the world, what was keeping them going past when they should have been able to rest. What we're doing is we're basically giving them closure. That's what I think. That's the way I see it, and I think that's why we're technically doing the right thing for them, because if we didn't come here and do these things for them, they'd still be stuck, going on forever, worried about whatever's keeping them going, you know? Like, they would be miserable, is what I'm saying. I think we're doing the right thing. On the last island, we helped a Coco reunite with someone that they loved, and then both of those Coco dropped. On this island, we helped a bunch of Cocos survive an attack and whatnot, and then they dropped. Now, there's more to the Coco on this island than just surviving an attack. That's not what was keeping them going. I'm pretty sure they needed to win a battle, and having Sonic defeat those towers was their win. It's the way I'm interpreting that, because it is kind of explained a little bit, but I don't think there's enough details to it to really, like, outright say for sure the reason that they dropped and the reason after being protected by Sonic. I think it's because since Sonic fought for them, they won a battle, and that's what they were living on for, was to get a win in battle, you know?
Hey, I'm willing to let bygones be bygones if you tell me how to restore my friends. Both Amy and Knuckles are all ghosty. Kinda like you.
All data within cyberspace is restricted to outsiders.
You see, that's the thing. They're kinda half in, half out. Can you at least tell me if they're going to be okay?
Their conditions are stable. They are hovering between the digital dimension and this one, but their lives are not at risk.
Oh, that's a relief. Sort of. Thanks for answering.
Something I just thought about now that that's actually brought up, now that, like, we're confirmed that their lives aren't at risk by being between cyberspace and reality. Something I kind of wonder, and I wondered this before when I was originally playing the game, I just kind of didn't have a chance to talk about it, because I don't really have many friends who are also fans of Sonic. I only have, like, maybe one or two friends who are, and they either haven't played Frontiers yet, or they don't like Frontiers. Actually, to be honest, they just haven't played Frontiers yet. That's what it is. Most people like Frontiers. Like, it has definitely got more people who love it than people who hate it. I'm gonna tell you that now. I think Frontiers deserves that love, and I think the little bit of hate it does get, it also kind of deserves, because it does have a few issues.
Ages ago, my people were wiped out by a cataclysm. I know the Coco faced something similar. It reminds me I'm the last Echidna, that I'm alone.
You may be the last, but you're not alone. You've got us, Knucklehead.
I'll admit, I do envy your lifestyle. Freedom to go where you want, when you want.
So do it. Get out there and live a little.
Maybe I could. But first, I need to be back to normal. So hurry up and get me back to normal.
Anything to get you away from me.
He helps those he is at odds with. He is quick to make peace. Perhaps... No. I have run the simulations. They are doomed.
So as I was saying, I don't think Frontiers is a perfect game. And I know this video is going to be going up like a week or two after the Game Awards. But I have something to say about the, what was it? Player's Choice, whatever that award was. I think it was Player's Choice, I don't know. But I got a comment on this. Just because people say, just because a Sonic fan says that Genshin Impact didn't deserve it, doesn't mean they wanted Frontiers to win. It doesn't mean that they're, like, toxic and just want to cause problems and stuff. No. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't think Sonic Frontiers deserved that award either. keep in mind, I love Sonic Frontiers. It is now my second favorite Sonic game of all time, right under Sonic Rush Adventure. That is literally how I would place it. Like, it goes Sonic Rush Adventure, then it goes Sonic Frontiers, then Unleashed, and then so on. I did make a cut there, so that's a weird cut. For a second, I thought we were about to get that day where, like, a bunch of, like, glowy things show up and you go and get them, and the roulette reel spins for you to get purple coins. I thought that's what was about to happen, because that was a really weird cut I did there. I don't know why I did that there, but you know what? You know what? Starting from this video, I do get more, like, experimental with the way I cut this game, because I want to keep in the important stuff, and I also want to keep in enough gameplay so that, like, you're not missing most of it. I want to keep most of what's in the clips in the videos, most of what matters, even, like, some of the exploring around, like, the open zone. And I do get better, just spoiler alert, I do get better with that when editing for the Chaos Island videos, but for now, for this video and I think the next one, it is going to be a tad bit wonky. I think this video and the next one, because I think the next one is when we fight, I keep wanting to call it Leviathan, I don't know why. I think the next one is where we fight the Wyvern. It's either this one or the next one. I think it's the next one. Is it? I don't, what part are we on? I do need to check that, hold on. Okay, yeah, it's the next one, because we're on part 9. The next video is where we fight the Wyvern. Actually, I think it might start next video, because I remember having some good edits in the Wyvern video. But I do get better. This Let's Play is literally testing my editing skills in all the right ways, because I have to, like, narrow down, like, 21 hours of gameplay into roughly, like, 12 or 13 hours. Which is a challenge in itself. But due to that, as I go, I'm getting better at it. Like, I'm getting a lot better at editing. Like, this Let's Play is literally what I needed. It's short enough where I can realistically edit it down to where it won't go on forever. And you won't have a bunch of boring gameplay in between the important and exciting parts. Like, yeah, it's short enough where that can be done, but it's also long enough where I have to cut out some things. I'm gonna tell you now, if I didn't cut out anything from this Let's Play, or I only cut out, like, small bits, this Let's Play would be about 30 parts long. It'd be roughly 30 parts long, and about a third of the gameplay would be me roaming the open zone, not really necessarily doing anything. I'm either running around trying to see where I need to go next, or I'm like, I get lost or something. There's actually there's a lot of video I had to cut out for this video, and not this video. There's a lot of, like, stuff I had to cut out for Ares Island and Chaos Island in particular. And I've only edited the first 2 parts of Chaos Island. I'm pretty sure Chaos Island gets less stuff I can cut out as I go on, because I believe part 13 of this Let's Play is gonna really be the part where I can no longer put 2 clips together in a video and cut it down a lot, because I think that's literally gonna be the first video I have to, like, do 1 clip per video, like, per video, I mean. Yeah, because that's the point of the game where, like, almost everything is important to keep. Because at a certain moment, almost everything becomes important to keep, like all the gameplay, all the cutscenes, everything. And I don't really cut out any cutscenes unless I get a side cutscene recorded and it's not really important. But even then, I'll probably usually keep them. This island, I believe, is the island I rushed through the... No. I think I rushed through the final island the most. But this one, I think, is the second fastest I go through an island. Because I did have to cut out a lot less for this island than I did for Chronos. I'm going to tell you that now. There weren't necessarily less clips. There was the same amount of clips, but they were shorter. For Chronos Island, a lot of clips were over, like, 30 minutes. Some of them will be 40 minutes. But for Ares, most of my clips are between 20 and 28 minutes. They're noticeably shorter. And when I get to the final island, they're even shorter than that. There are more clips than I have for Ares Island for the final island, but they're shorter, if you get what I'm getting at. So I think I spent the most time on Kronos. I am not afraid to admit that. I think I spent the most time on Kronos because that's when I was new to the game. I didn't understand what button the boost was on yet even. Like I was running around without using boost. It was actually, I think, shortly before the Giganto fight where I realized, oh shit, the boost is the R2 button. Something I think they missed was a missed opportunity here because they did like. They already gave you, like, the choice to, like, customize how Sonic controls and stuff. I think it's a missed opportunity that they didn't let you customize your controller. I really think it is. Because Crash 4 lets you do that. In this day and age, it's really smart. Like, to me, it's probably one of the smartest things you could do for a game. Is to let people customize their controller. Because your default controls aren't always going to be what they're comfortable with. Hell, even Sonic Colors Ultimate had customizable controls. I use the R1 button for Wisp. R1 in platforming games is always like my ability button when I can customize it. Because in Crash 4, R1 was for the mask, was for the Quantum Mask. In Sonic Colors Ultimate, I used R1 for the Wisp. R1 is always my go-to ability button for platforming games when I can customize it. I think I even did it with Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Hold on, I think I can check that. I'm pretty sure R1 is my like button for like every like movement ability, like the swing shot, the rift tether, the phase dash. I think all of that was mapped to R1 once I customized my control. Because the thing is, I'm used to using the circle button for the swing shot in Ratchet & Clank. But it didn't take any effort at all to get used to, it didn't take any trouble at all to actually get used to, what was I gonna say? To get used to using R1 for the swing shot. It really didn't at all. R1 is a really comfortable button to use, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't think I've ever had trouble using R1 when it comes to abilities and stuff. Like, hell, even in the Crash 2 Let's Play I'm recording right now, I actually tried something. Because I recently watched the Brain Scratch commentaries of the Crash Insane trilogy. And they brought up, do you use the circle button or the R1 button to slide and crouch? And some Call Me Johnny said he used the circle button. And that's what I always use, because to me that made sense. I grew up on the PS2, and in the PS2 era, the circle and triangle button were always used for ability things. The R1 button was always mapped to something else. Like, if you had guns, you used it for guns. If you, like, the R1 button didn't really fit as an ability button on the PS2, because that's not how game designers designed their controls. The triangle and circle button were usually abilities or action buttons. They weren't, like, ever ability buttons. So that's why I was actually used to using the circle button for the swing shot for so many years. But then, like, when I started using it for R1, it felt so natural because I've been playing modern games for the past, I want to say, 8 years. I've been playing games designed to have R1 and L1 as ability buttons. Warframe being a prime example. Another example being, I don't know. I'm currently watching I'm watching part 4 of my Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart Let's Play, because I think that's the video that I know exactly where you could, yeah, I did use R1. Because if I go to the 2-minute and 16-second mark, there's a rift tether that pops up beside a group of enemies that I can ambush. And, okay. Yeah, so any platformer game, I'm probably going to map R1 as my main ability button. That's the way I'm going to do it. So, I don't mind having the boost button on the R2. And I don't mind having the homing attack on the square button. So honestly, even though I would prefer this game to have customizable controls, it doesn't bother me because this game actually gets controls a little better. Oh my god, I cannot tell you how much better this game gets controls compared to Crash 4 and Sonic Colors Ultimate. I could not play those games on the default controls. I could not. For Crash 4, I'm pretty sure the triangle button was the mask button. And trying to like use triangle and X back and forth, because with the Quantum Mask, you have to jump a lot when using them. So using those back and forth felt really awkward. So I changed it to R1. It was so easy. It was so fucking easy, man. And then, like, it made it much better. And then Sonic Colors Ultimate, I think the Wisp button was originally, I forget what it originally was. It might have originally been R1, and I just kept it. I don't know. I don't remember what the original Wisp button was. I would have to re-download the game to tell you that. But I changed it to R1, and it felt so smooth to use. It's also a factor that the R1 and L1 buttons are just a lot smoother to use on PS4 and PS5 controllers than they were back on PS3 and PS2 controllers. They're smoother to click down on, a lot smoother to click down on. So there's that too.
I don't think this ancient machinery was active before. Any idea what changed?
Something similar happened on the last island. Let's just call it a little divine intervention. If I can solve the lock's code, it should open the way to that flying titan.
Wait, Sonic. You're still missing a Chaos Emerald, aren't you? Oh, that thing will tear you to shreds.
The last titan was holding the final emerald. I'm willing to bet it's the same deal here. First, though, I need to play this crane game. Let me see. The stones and the ports seem to have corresponding colors.
But yeah, it does take me a minute to figure this out. In post, I know how to do this. I even did a second run of this game to record clips, because I wanted to make a boss fight compilation of this game, because I really love the boss fights. And I always loved making boss fight compilations. I just don't do them often because, like, mainly because I used to have commentary over the original clips of my videos before I went to do a commentary and post. And I'm never going back. I'm going to tell you that now. I tried to go back when I was planning to do a Crash 1 Let's Play earlier this year, but never did it. I never did the Crash 1 Let's Play because, and I'm going to tell you why now. I never did the Crash 1 Let's Play because I think it was The Walking Dead Season 1 I decided to Let's Play instead. And the reason for that is because I looked over Run on Game Season 2 and I was like, okay, this season's just all platformers. We need a couple games in here that ain't platformers, and that's where The Walking Dead Season 1 came from. And then by the time I beat The Walking Dead Season 1, I was able to get Resident Evil Village, which kind of added a little more variety. And you might be going, well, with all the platforming games, why do you want to do Crash 2 as your final Let's Play on the season? And that's because I didn't do any Crash games this season, and I'm really mad at myself for that. I don't know why I'm mad at myself for that, and I couldn't tell you why. Okay, I know why I'm mad at myself for that, but I can't tell you why I didn't do one. I really couldn't, because I think the reason I didn't do one, and I don't know for sure if this is it, because I think it was just a coincidence or something, I don't know, but I think the reason I didn't do one is because I tried to go for Crash 1, and Crash 1 is my least favorite Crash game out of the ones I have access to. The ones I have access to are the Insane Trilogy and Crash 4. I no longer have CTR Nitro Fueled. And even if I did, that wouldn't really be a very long Let's Play. I think it'd be even shorter than the Insane Trilogy Let's Plays. But I decided when trying the Insane Trilogy again for another Let's Play to do Crash 2, because that's the Crash game I've completed before. That's the Crash game I've completed 100%. Not 100, 102%. I forget what the exact percentage is, but I've completed it before. So I want to do it first, because I know I could complete the game entirely. And it'll be a longer Let's Play, because I'll be going for the extra stuff. With Crash 1, I like Crash 1 and Crash 3, but it's a similar situation to like the Spyro Reignited. I like Spyro 1 much better than 2 and 3, and I like Crash 2 much better than 1 and 3.
Was there ever any doubt?
That might just be me.
Face impossible odds.
Huh, we've faced worse. Here we go. Try to keep up.
Whoa, hey, that's my line.
I'm gonna end off here. Bye.
Over.